Welcome to the I Feel Like Talking podcast with your host, myself, Damon. We got Ja'Wan over there.
Hey.
We also have Jocelynn. We're so happy to be here. Just as our, inauguration, whatever you want to call it. Start off, getting started. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I always got something to talk about. I got a whole lot to talk about. So I'm always talking to them. So I said, you know what? Let's put it in the podcast. So we're gonna have fun today. I don't know about you, but I watched the Olympics this year, and it was awesome. I want to say it was awesome. Yeah. One of the major events I always watch is the track and field. Mm-hmm. And with the track and field, I'm always looking at everything. One thing I noticed though is it's called the personal best, right? And what happens is everyone comes with their personal best. Yep. And when they come with their personal best, again, this is the best of the world. By the race, right? So you come with your personal best. And when I realized, even if they lost, came in third or fourth place, 99% of the time, their personal best goes to another level. Yeah. Right? And I saw that with one race. I saw that with another race. And I was like, what is going? What I realized is they ran, I guess, to their limit on their own. Right. But when they got around people that was better than them, it took their personal best to the next level. Yeah. That was right there. Let's just sit. We can sit right there.
That can preach.
That can preach right there.
That's a series.
That can preach.
Olympic series.
That can preach.
So I'm always thinking now, who's around me to help me take me to the next level when it comes to my personal best. Yep. And what happens, I think all of us, I think that's a conversation that we can have right now. We always think about who's around you that's helping you go to your personal best. And if you're not, don't have those people around you. What are you doing? Honestly, what am I doing? What are we all doing to now get yourself out the circle? I always say this: if you in the room and you're the smartest one in the room, get out the room. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So, what are you doing in this season to have a better personal best? I mean, what y'all think about?
I'll go first. Ladies first. Yeah. For me, I've been in my word more. Because I feel like if you know the word, you'll do the word. Right. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, that's what I'm in. And being just a better overall person. I think that being a mom and a wife, you lose yourself. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting back to, I've been married for 3 years and I have 2 kids.
It's been 3 years?
Well, come October, we'll be married for 3 years.
Hey.
Wow.
Time is flying.
So will you.
Right.
So.
How many years you been married?
I'll be 3 in December.
3. We'll both be, Wow. Yeah, we got married in 2021.
Crazy.
Okay. That went by fast. But anyways, getting back to being my best self, because I can lose myself easily being a mom and a wife. Oh, I gotta cook. Oh, I gotta clean. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. So being in my word and being, Pastor P always says, have a board table. Like, who's at your table? Yep. And so for me, my table has changed because of where I'm headed. Wow. So where I came from, certain people just can't be at the table no more. It's not that I can't talk to you. It's just you can't be in my table. I can't call you when I need prayer. I can't call you when I need to. I'm not going to use the word vent anymore because Pastor Mike Jr. was doing a sermon and he said, think about it. When you have vents, don't vents go to other rooms? Wow. I was like, oh my gosh.
That is true.
I was like, that's crazy. So like, even with that, being my best is being my best for myself so that I can be the best for my family, my friends, my community. Wow. So yeah, being in God's word, letting God tell me who I am and not society tell me who I am.
No, for
That's
sure.
where I'm at.
That's big. Yeah. That's big. What about
you kind of hit everything right there. But no, exactly what you said, though. Just being around people who been there and done that, that you can learn from. Right. You know what I'm saying? And keep growing because it's a lot of stuff that you can stop from happening if you just be around people who has been there. They learned their lesson. Maybe they failed at it. Now they can tell you, you know, don't go down that route or do this. You right, you know, and having that circle and realizing like these people, these set of people right here, I can trust. I can be around them. I can call them for anything, and they can tell me, you know, and keep it real with me and say, to raise up my personal best and say, are you slacking right here in this area? You know, you got to have those people around.
Yeah. I mean, it's important thing about it. I always say this. It's always 2 ways you can learn. Right. You can learn your own or learn from somebody else's experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've learned it saves me it saves my brain matter.
Yeah.
It saves
money,
energy, saves money,
heartbreak,
heartbreak, or if I can learn from you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's so important. So here, let me ask you this question, a follow-up question to that question.
Right.
So we know for a fact we got to change our room. We got to sometimes for us to go to another level, you have to literally be uncomfortable to go to another room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes that next room it's uncomfortable.
For sure.
But what do you do with those people that you love, that you admire, and they might be good where they are, and that's cool, right? I have no problems you being where you are. You know what I mean? How do you balance being in another room, but also still supporting or loving the room that you came from? I think for myself, and I started up for myself. I think I'm always with the mindset of 3 parts. There, you have to have a Paul in your life. You have to have a Cyrus in your life, and you have to have a Timothy in your life. Paul is the leader, maybe the level that you're trying to go to. Right. Then Cyrus is that one that this is where we are right now. And then there's a Timothy. Hey, I'm not there anymore, but I'm now able to help mentor you, grow you, mature you. Hey, I've been married 3 years. You might have 1 year on you, but let me tell you, the first 3 years you might go through this. You know what I mean? And then those on the level, man, we've been doing this for 3 years, and this is. You know what I mean? And then you have someone like myself. I've been going on 27 years this year. Hey, Pastor Mar, help me. Help.
Congrats.
Here we go.
Only God. Only Jesus.
Only Jesus. So it's important, you know what I mean? So that you have those 3 people in your life or 3 phases in your life that you honestly make yourself complete and make yourself humble. Because I realize sometimes when you think I'm going to the next level, forget everybody else, you know how society is. We step on people instead of knowing, hey, I was once there. Yeah. How can I help you? Yeah. I'm going through this. How can we on the same? We can see eye to eye in this situation. Yeah. We all trying to believe God for our own house. Yeah. We all trying to believe. You know what I mean? Right. And then those say, "Hey, how did you get the house?" Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all a lot of levels. How do you balance those 3 levels? And for me, and I can talk about for me, what I've done is, hey, I know those 3 levels exist. But and my job is there's a grace for all those 3 levels.
Right. Absolutely.
You stay at a humble place.
Right.
I was talking to somebody today that you had to keep humility first and foremost. Yeah. You got to remember where you came from.
Right, for sure.
You got to remember where you are. Yep. Thank God for where you are. Right, Don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise where you are right now. And then be humble enough to say, I'm teachable. Yeah. Teach me. Help me. Right. You know what I mean? Yes. A lot of times be like, I got this. I don't want me personally. If you can help me, if you can help me get out of debt, if you help me get a house, whatever can help me. And if I'm able to give you the knowledge to do that, listen. You know what I mean? I'd rather you listen to me. I'd rather you listen and say, hey, you know what I mean, and learn. You know what I mean? Instead of guy, this generation, I got it. And my thing, it's not even age no more.
No,
it's the culture that we have now. I got it. I'm like, you okay? Try it out.
Everybody,
and then after you want me to pray for you after you done messed up and bumped your head.
Yep.
Everybody want to get
But I even think with
now.
that is the heart posture.
Yeah.
And for rough for it's pride.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going through that because I'm one of the ones that be like, don't help me. I figured out I got it.
Right. Yeah.
But you can't be like that because I learned joining Victory Christian Ministries, Charles County, that a community is important.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've also learned that you told me this back in 2019 when I lost my grandfather. You said, because if he wasn't my pastor, I probably would have stole him. But he said, what you go through has nothing to do with you. Yeah. It has to do with you're going to impact, and God is just using you as a vessel. And I said to Pastor D, I said, man, I don't want to be that vessel. And he was like, you don't have an option.
Right.
And I think from that point on, for me, is what carries me. So it's like, I can look up to people such as a Pastor Portia or I personally, Cynthia Brazelton, Cynthia Marshall, like my mom, my grandmother, even some celebrities that I watch on podcasts. Like I look up to these people and be like, Lord, I don't want to be them, but get me to where they are.
Right. Wow.
And even for that, not forgetting the people that I have to carry with me.
Yeah.
So I love dance. I've been teaching since I was 16, and just being with teenagers and people of all genders, of all, just helping them. For me, it's not forgetting where people come from or forgetting where I come from.
Right.
And me not forgetting where I come from makes me want to help people more.
Wow, that's big.
So for me, it's like I want to be to people what I didn't have.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me
that's
like,
good.
no, I gotta keep fighting.
Right.
I gotta keep going. I gotta keep, being like, okay, Lord, you took me through this. This wasn't just, and stop always saying it's the devil.
Right.
Sometimes
look at your camera.
Stop saying it's always the devil.
Right.
Because you really do go through stuff to help other people.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. That's so good. Yeah, and I can say all of us at this table right here, we're servants.
That part.
So we serve a lot, and a lot of times I realize like servants don't really like to ask for help.
That's true.
Because they're always the ones that's doing and helping other people and stuff like that. So it's kind of like you gotta finally, like my grandmother, we just had our baby shower the last weekend, and my grandmother was like, boy, if you don't sit down, you always making people plates. I got your plate this time. So it's like it's kind of hard to do that because we're always trying to help others. So it's like you just got to take a back seat sometimes and let people just help you out. And going to like the not leaving where you came from side of things, when you said something, it's like when you're helping people and you're kind of like being that mentor, it kind of keeps you sharp. Yeah. Because a lot of times they're bringing back stuff from your past and stuff that you've been through. So you're like, oh yeah, I gotta. And a lot of times when you're helping somebody else out, it's 9 times out of 10 the Lord is reminding you to do it in your own life. So you can kind of say, okay, I needed this wake up call, and that's a lot of times how it is.
I think we have a problem with taking our own advice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know I do. I'm like, do this, do this. And I'll be like, girl, you don't need to apply that to yourself.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think with me, of course, I give a lot of advice.
Right. You have a whole church.
Literally. Most time, what I've learned is for myself, I have to be first partaker with the advice.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know we're getting off subject, but just, I mean, sometimes we give advice, and the most mature thing is take your own advice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anybody can spew off something that you heard, something that you read, something that you saw on social media, a post or something like that. Right. But when you live it, and now you're speaking from experience, I think that's what the goal is for me. So a lot of times, a lot of things that I'm saying is not from a standpoint that I just heard it. It's something that I've lived. And I think for maturity for all of us is that we take our own advice and we walk our own advice to the standpoint that you have experiences with it. So then you can come back and you have wisdom. You know what I mean? Wisdom is I've have knowledge of it. I've had experience with it. I understand it. And now I'm able to now tell somebody else.
Yeah, that's good.
Now you want to be wise.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's how you're wise. You know what I mean? But now having experience, taking that experience and walking it out. It's been a good conversation. Good conversation.
That's good.
I think it's so important again that we remember. You know what I mean? For us to go to the next level, for us to have a better personal best. I want you to have a personal best next year. You'd have a personal best next year. You know what I mean? For us to have a personal best, sometimes we got to change the room. But don't forget where you came from and don't despise where you are. I think that's so important. Thank y'all so much for this conversation. We're going to have many, many more of these. But I am Damon, and this is my crew. And we want to say thank you for joining us for I Feel Like Talking podcast.